Welcome to Flipped Classroom. This unit is measurement and we are looking at areas of circles. Our learning intention is we are learning to calculate the areas of circles and sectors. And success criteria, I am successful when I know the formula of an area of a circle. I can calculate the area of a circle. I can calculate the area of a sector of a circle. Now let's have a look at these three circles. And we've got them shaded different amounts, and those shaded amounts are the sectors. Let's quickly work out what fraction of each of these circles is highlighted. So for the first one, that's fairly clear that it's a quarter of the circle. For the next one, it's a little bit harder, but it's a third of a circle. And we know that the last one, because the last one is half of the first one, we just need to halve a quarter, which becomes an eighth. Now let's look at the area of a circle. We've got our circle there, and the main thing we need to remember is the radius, and we label that as r. Now to work out the area of a circle, we use the equation a equals pi r squared. Now r squared is the radius, so we square that, and then we multiply by pi, and we get the area. Don't get this confused with the circumference of a circle, because that is 2 pi r. Even though we've got the same symbols, they're in a different order and do different things. So with the area of the circle, from our equation before, we need to know the radius. But if we have the diameter, we need to halve that to get the radius, because we remember that the diameter is twice the length of the radius. So we need the radius, so we just halve that diameter. And then we put it into the equation that we had before, which was the pi r squared. So let's look at this worked example. We have a circle and we've been asked to calculate the area. On the left-hand side, I'm going to put my thinking, and on my right-hand side, I am going to put down the equations and the workings for my teacher so that they know what I know. So first off, I look at it, I see that it's a circle and we want the area, so I will write down my area formula, a equals pi r squared. Next, I need to substitute in the values I know. So I know the radius, which is 2.7, so I will put that in where r is. I will leave pi as its symbol, as this will mean it is more accurate when I use a calculator. Next, I'm going to calculate the area, and I'm going to write down at least 4 decimal places. This shows the teacher that I've got an answer that is as accurate as possible, and then I have rounded it to answer it in a more concise manner. And I make sure that I write my units, because we're looking at centimeters as our radius. Our units for area are centimeters squared. Now I've used a wavy equals sign, because this is an approximate value. This is not an exact value, because those decimal places will go on forever. So we can work out an area of a sector by comparing the angle with a whole circle. So sometimes it's easier when we've got a sector picture like this to draw the whole circle in there to make it easy to see. Now all we need is the radius and the angle, and we can then work out how much is shaded. So we use this formula, theta over 360 pi r squared. Now you can see the area of the circle formula there, pi r squared, and that theta over 360 is a fraction of how much of the circle is shaded. Now if we go back to our first one, where we had that quarter of a circle shaded, we can see that 90 over 360 can be simplified down to a quarter. So if it was not as easy to see, we can then simplify it by using our fraction knowledge. Let's try an example. So here I have a sector, and it's got there 30 degrees and 5 meters, and I need to calculate the area of that sector. Again, I'll put my thinking on the left-hand side and what I show my teacher on the right. So I will start off, because this is a sector, I will write down my sector formula. So I will write a equals theta over 360 pi r squared. Next, I substitute in those known values. So I know that the radius is 5, I know that the angle is 30 degrees, and I'll put that into that equation, and you can see the numbers are in there. Next, I will type that into my calculator and I will get the answer to about 4 decimal places again, and then I'll round it back to 2 decimal places. We started in meters, our area is in meters squared. So with what we know, our reflection today is how can we work out the fraction of a circle sector by knowing only the angle of that sector? As always, like the video and subscribe for more videos on maths.